most important part of the story. What the heck can we do about this climate change thing? Now, the positive news is that we know what we have to do. The hard part is getting everyone to agree, get on board, make the changes and sacrifices, and actually do it. And believe it or not, this includes you and I. Let's take a look at this solution pie. Piece 1. Industry needs to take responsibility for their part in this nightmare. No industry should be allowed to destroy our planet's health just to make a profit and then say, good luck cleaning up the mess. And secondly, they need to make changes, like transitioning to clean energy sources, clean transportation, clean manufacturing processes and practices, create clean materials and products, and help to clean up the mess they took part in making. The second piece of the climate change solution pie, and none of these are in any particular order, I mean they all need to be done and they need to be done like now, is policy and regulation changes, up and down the board, including balancing social and racial inequalities when it comes to the environment. Now, the infrastructure plan, with the climate change portion, of course, is a good example. This is a tough one for me, guys, policy and regulation. I mean, these kinds of changes happen so slowly, and there's so much compromise involved, and not usually in the planet's or our favor, which seems strange to me, because we literally need the planet to survive. Now, to complicate matters, nowadays, we have to add in the misinformation station, which leads many to distrust science, whose only mission is to answer questions and figure stuff out, by the way. And the politicization of anything important, human health, planet health, etc., because pockets don't want to stop being lined with money. Now, it no longer feels like making changes is a matter of community responsibility and the survival of everyone, but it really feels like everyone is just focused on their own version of survival and what it is that they want. And I gotta admit, it's scary what this train of thought is going to do to our children and future generations. But this should only make those of us of voting age fight harder. And policy and regulation changes are happening, especially now that we have members in government that actually believe that climate change is a thing and that you and I are feeling it, like now. In the last year or two, climate change has actually become a prioritized topic on the global political stage. Finally, no one anywhere in the world is able to escape the effects of climate change. Piece 3, the massive advances in technology that will be needed to support not only changes in industry, but quantifying and tracking those changes to advise policy and government as well. I mean, we need to focus our technical minds on greening and cleaning every aspect of energy and manufacturing or making anything, including how the thing is disposed of or recycled, like Mother Nature does. I mean, the sheer number of humans to feed on Earth means we'll need to combine traditional and indigenous farming knowledge with modern agriculture to farm smarter, not bigger. We'll need to employ what we know about how nature works, which is a lot, mind you, to try to boost our planet's natural processes to help balance the greenhouse gases and the temperature out. Things like reforestation, marine permaculture, which is really cool, look it up if you don't know about it, and protecting existing natural spaces, among other things. This also includes using technology to explore and understand more about our own ocean planet. I mean, I understand the curiosity surrounding other planets, but with our planet in peril, it seems really silly to know more about Mars than our own ocean, which is what makes life on Earth possible. And at this point, we'll also need to explore all other technological possibilities, like removing carbon dioxide from the air, for example, to rebalance the natural processes that we depend on. This isn't a one solution solves all type of predicament. Now, these are the pieces that most groups suggest will turn the tide on climate change. But there's one more solution that absolutely has to be added to this pie, and it usually isn't. Number 4, the most important piece of the solution pie, the human solution. I mean, look, the unpleasant truth of the matter is that humans got us into this whole mess. Nothing in nature burns fossil fuels or makes plastic. So we simply can't leave humans out of the solution. We can't demand that others like industry and government fix this for us without looking in the mirror at our own actions and contributions to the problem. And none of us are blameless. Even the most devout and dedicated environmentalist, myself included, has made a contribution to climate change. The fact is, people are our biggest, most immediate resource for environmental change. Imagine this. If everyone you knew changed one thing in their life to a sustainable non-plastic choice, you can't tell me this wouldn't make a positive environmental impact. Now imagine if all of the almost 8 billion people on this earth made one sacrifice, or even 2. What an amazing impact that would be. And we are so much more powerful than we think. How, you ask? A little thing called market demand. The choices we make, the things we buy, and the people we vote for tell those in places of power what we want and what's important to us. Super simplified example here. If we choose only natural products and don't buy plastic, companies won't make the plastic because they can't sell it. They're trained to make what we buy because their whole purpose of existence is to make money. So if you think that your small choices don't matter, they absolutely do. And the fact is, we simply must change our consumption habits and learn to make environmentally responsible choices within our daily time and money budgets, of course, since we still have lives to lead and children to raise, etc. And it's important to make these changes in our families right now. If we don't, our future generations could be forced to make changes. I mean, no big project or complicated issue will ever be solved by only working from the top or from the top down or from the bottom up. It's going to take industry, technology, and government committing to change, changing from the top down, along with the public supporting and encouraging that commitment, changing from the bottom up, using things like our market demand, what we buy, and our voting power, which is telling our elected leaders to vote for the planet and our futures, to be successful in preserving a livable future on this planet. I mean, I want that for my children and my retirement. Now, the really cool thing, the market is beginning to adapt, and making smarter choices is getting easier, cheaper, and more readily available. All right, everyone, that's all for today. Next week, it starts getting really good, you guys. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of exactly what every human can do to protect our ocean planet. Thanks for diving in. Hit that subscribe button before you leave. Share what you've learned here forward.